So he'll be fine for the Zepeda fight. And I know you guys are confident going into that fight. Looking ahead at the 135-pound division,
Uh,
he has his friend Keyshawn Davis, but
uh,
Keyshawn said that these guys, he called Richardson, Hitchens, and Shakur weirdos. I don't know what kind of what that meant as far as with him and referring to Shakur. I don't know if maybe he meant that more towards Richardson, Hitchens. But do you think that fight will ever play out between Keyshawn and Shakur, or they'll just leave it, as friends, as brothers, like they said?
I'm gonna tell you like this here. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
This is a business, man, and numbers can dictate anything, man. You
It can
know,
make anything happen.
you put in terms of a trap, you put the right bait in there. So man, anybody gonna fall into that trap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that the fight is worth their while. I know, man. Something that hey, you can't refuse, man. Who will refuse it?
Exactly. Mike Tyson said once that if you're my friend, you should fight me so we could feed our families. So he looks at it as
Right,
business, so that could be
right.
similar to Keyshawn and Shakur. Now, you have a history with Keyshawn as well. How do you see
Uh,
that fight playing out if they were to get in the ring? How does he beat? I know that you're going for Shakur, but how does he beat Keyshawn?
well, I got a lot of respect for Keyshawn and his family, and
Yeah,
they've been in the ring before. But
they know.
I'm not going to discuss the details behind that.
I
What
understand. I totally
happened?
understand, Coach.
Huh?
I totally understand, Coach.
Yeah, and you can hear from somebody else, but I ain't gonna be the one.
No, that's fine. We'll move on to the next. But Coach, before we let you get out of here, I have to ask you about the biggest fight of the year, Canelo versus Crawford. I know you have a relationship with Crawford. Shakur has a big brother, little brother relationship with Terrence. How do you see that fight playing out? They did a face off. Crawford was actually taller than Canelo. What do you think about that fight? Who wins that fight and how?
Well, everybody think Bud's small, man, and walk around small, man. Bud be walking around and solid as a rock, about 180 something pounds, 81 pounds, man. And he's
Wow.
fast and strong then.
At 180, he's a light heavyweight, above a light heavyweight, and he still has the speed. You don't notice any reduction in the speed?
No reduction, bro. Yeah. When you train like Bud train and stay in the gym like Bud stay in the gym, man, you're different. You're built different.
Yeah, definitely.
You
Well,
know?
it's an exciting matchup, the puncher versus the boxer, but Canelo has great defense as well. And
Uh,
Bud is a switch hitter. I think he's one of the best switch hitters since Marvelous Marvin Hagler. But
right.
do you think he's able to stop Terrence Crawford? Does he win? Who's winning that fight?
Well, let me tell you this here much. We know Canelo can be hit. We're
Yes.
saying that, right? Now, if Canelo is not going to be or can't be effective on landing those heavy shots on Bud, it's going to be a long night for Canelo. Because when you look at it, when you look at the hand speed, like Bud, versus Spence, Bud says, damn. He says, score, man. He said, Spence hand speed is nowhere near yours, man. Nowhere faster. So now, when you prepare, if you have somebody to actually emulate that kind of hand speed, then good. Then you got to worry about the IQ, that ring generalship inside there. You know what I'm saying? And I think it'll be a good meeting of the minds in there. You know, Canelo has good technique and good skills too. So whoever wins that their battle with the minds is going to win that fight.
Who do you lean toward, Coach?
You know who I lean towards. Huh?
But based off of the performance that Crawford had with Madrimov and the performance that Canelo had with Skull,
Right.
I know you're going with Crawford, but do you feel he can get a stoppage? Do you feel he can knock out Canelo Alvarez?
Well, let me tell you like this here. If Canelo underestimated power, of course. You see Spence did, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Now, I may look at it something being more like Mayweather Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Looking like that.
Yeah, that's the blueprint. That's the blueprint for it.
Now, if his punches affect Canelo, that's a horse of another color. You know, nobody been able to pretty much actually hurt him or rock him.
Exactly. And Terrence is a mean fighter, and he wants to show he's so competitive at everything. If he plays basketball against you, he's trying to destroy you. So if he hurts him, he wants to show the fans, listen, I can hurt Canelo Alvarez. I can stop him. He craves that, it seems. So
Yes.
I think that's the only thing that concerns me for him is because he has too much fire inside, too much dog. You know, he's too
Right.
tough for himself. You know what I mean? I think he can
Yeah.
box, and that's the blueprint to beat the same way Bivol beat Canelo and Floyd beat him.
Right.
And even
Defense.
Arison Lara, you know, I think that same blueprint. But I think that Crawford is so tough that he's gonna go to war with Canelo. It's gonna be exciting for the fans, but it puts him in harm's way. So that's my only concern for
Well, I'm
for that.
glad you said Laura, but look at Laura and the Paul Williams fight,
Yeah,
and see how well Laura used those angles and the little V steps and everything to change the whole complexion of that fight. Everybody thought
absolutely.
Paul Williams was gonna be able to get to him, get inside, and bang him all up. He could never do it.
Yep,
Same thing with Bud.
exactly. Boxing. Boxing. Well, Coach, man, we appreciate your time. I thank you so much, you know, for giving us your time here at Fight Hype.